If you have spent any time looking for a used car in the last 10 years, you know the golden rule. You buy a car that is 3 years old. You let the original owner lose 30% of the value, you pick it up with 30,000 miles, and you drive a near-new machine for a fraction of the cost. In 2026, following that rule will lead you directly into a financial grave. Walk onto any used car lot today and look at the 2022 and 2023 models. They look beautiful. They have the latest screens, the sharpest LEDs, and the lowest miles. But underneath that shiny paint lies the biggest engineering disaster of the modern era. I call it the 2023 lemon wave. While the rest of the world was focused on the pandemic recovery, the automotive industry was quietly breaking. Manufacturers were facing a parts or death scenario. To keep the assembly lines moving, they stopped caring about the gold standard of their suppliers. They began vendor substitution. They used lower-grade semiconductors, cheaper wiring insulation, and unproven mechanical components just to meet quotas. Now, 3 years later, the clock has run out. In this investigative report, I am going to expose the 2023 manufacturing blackout. I am going to show you the specific 2022 and 2023 models from Toyota, Ford, and GM that are currently failing at 3 times the rate of 10-year-old cars. I will reveal the batch failure data that the dealerships are trying to suppress. And most importantly, I will show you how to find the pre-crisis gems that were built before the quality died. If you are looking at a 3-year-old car today, do not sign a single paper until you see this data. You aren't buying a deal. You are buying a manufacturer's mistake. To understand why a 2023 car is worse than a 2018 car, we have to look at the bill of materials. Every car is made of roughly 30,000 parts. In a normal year, those parts come from certified long-term partners. But in 2022 and 2023, those partners disappeared. Factories in China were closed. Ships were stuck in the ocean. Raw materials like copper and high-grade aluminum were being rationed. Manufacturers like Ford, GM, and even the reliable Japanese brands had 2 choices: stop production and go bankrupt, or find alternative suppliers. They chose the alternatives. They used wiring harnesses from secondary factories with lower-grade plastic insulation that cracks under heat. They used sensors with higher failure tolerances. They used inferior steel for internal engine components. And because they were in a rush, they cut the quality control time in half. In 2026, we are seeing the result. We are seeing ghost failures, electrical problems that can't be diagnosed because the wiring is simply poor quality. We are seeing premature rust on frames, and we are seeing engines that grenade at 50,000 miles because of machining debris left in the blocks during the production rush. We have to start with the most shocking entry: Toyota. For decades, Toyota was the bank you could trust, but the 2022 and 2023 Toyota Tundra and Sequoia models, equipped with the Twin-Turbo V6, are currently suffering from a catastrophic main bearing seizure. This is the perfect example of the lemon wave. During the rush to launch this new engine during the parts crisis, machining debris was left inside the engine blocks at the factory. As you drive, this microscopic metal debris circulates through the oil. It gets trapped in the main bearings. Eventually, the bearing seizes, the crankshaft stops turning, and the engine is totaled. Toyota issued a massive recall for over 100,000 of these trucks. But here is the 2026 used car trap: the fixed engines. Many of these trucks are sitting on used lots right now. The dealer will tell you the recall was performed. But as a mechanic, I'm seeing these replacement engines fail too. The rush didn't just happen at the factory, it's happening at the service base. Buying a 2023 Tundra is a high-stakes gamble with $70,000 of your own money. I need to pause here because I'm about to show you why Ford and Hyundai are even more dangerous. But you're probably looking at your phone right now, scrolling through car listings and feeling terrified. How are you supposed to know which specific 2023 car was built with substituted parts and which one was built correctly? The answer is data. That is why I updated the 2026 car market cheat sheet. Inside Part 1, the Blacklist, I added a dedicated chapter called the 2023 Lemon Index. I have cross-referenced the technical service bulletins and the internal recall data to give you the exact build dates to avoid. It's not just about the model year, it's about the month the car was built. I tell you exactly which weeks in 2023 the factories were missing their primary sensors and which cars are safe havens. I also included the pre-crisis gold list. These are the 2017 to 2020 models that were built with the highest quality materials before the world broke. Buying this cheat sheet is your shield. For $29, you get the insider knowledge that prevents a $15,000 mistake. Don't buy a used car during a blackout. Click the link in the description, download the 2026 cheat sheet, and see the data for yourself. Now back to the list. Let's talk about the wiring nightmare at Ford. If you follow this channel, you know I respect Ford's engineering, but the 2022 and 2023 model years are a no-fly zone. Specifically, the F-150 and the Explorer. These vehicles are software-defined. They rely on hundreds of modules communicating over a complex wiring network. During the 2023 production rush, Ford was hit harder than anyone by the chip shortage. To keep the trucks moving, they shipped them incomplete to holding lots, where they sat in months in the rain and snow waiting for chips. When the chips finally arrived, they were installed in open-air lots by temporary workers. The result? Corrosion. In 2026, these trucks are hitting 3 years old and their electrical systems are losing their minds. Deep sleep mode glitches that drain the battery overnight, screen blackouts, sensors that think there is an obstacle when the road is empty. These aren't mechanical breaks you can fix with a wrench. These are systemic failures. If you buy a used 2023 F-150, you are buying a car that spent the first 6 months of its life rotting in a field in Michigan. Avoid them. The 2023 models from Hyundai and Kia, specifically the Sorento, Santa Fe, and Tucson, were supposed to be the new era of reliability. Instead, they are the new era of oil consumption. Manufacturers were struggling to source high-quality piston rings in 2022. They used alternative metallurgy that is proving to be too soft. By 40,000 miles, the rings are wearing down, allowing oil to bypass into the combustion chamber. These cars are burning a quart of oil every 1,000 miles. If you don't check your dipstick every Saturday, the engine will run dry and seize. In 2026, the second owners of these cars are finding out that the 100,000-mile warranty does not transfer in full to the second owner. You only get 5 years or 60,000 miles. If that engine fails at 61,000 miles, you are on the hook for $8,000. There is a second reason to avoid 2023 and newer cars: the end of privacy. 2023 was the year that telematics became mandatory for almost every brand. These cars are snitches. They are constantly recording your speed, your braking force, and your location, and they are uploading it to the manufacturer via 5G. In 2026, insurance companies are buying this data. If you buy a used 2023 model, the insurance company might see that the previous owner was an aggressive driver and rate you based on their data. Furthermore, 2023 was the year manufacturers started locking hardware. You cannot replace a radio or a sensor in a 2023 car without a proprietary handshake from the manufacturer's server. You no longer own the car. You are just a tenant in a digital apartment. If 2023 is a minefield, where is the safe ground? Rule number 1. The 19 rule. If you want the maximum reliability and the highest build quality, look for cars built in 2018 and 2019. This was the peak of quality before the supply chain broke. The materials were pure, the workers were experienced, and the chips were high grade. Rule number 2, the simple trim exception. If you must buy a 2023 car, buy the base model or work truck. Why? Because they have fewer sensors and fewer alternative modules. The more features a 2023 car has, the more likely it is to contain a substitute part that will fail. Rule number 3, the import check. Check the door jam sticker. If the car was built in a country that had rolling lockdowns in 2022 and 2023, the production was likely interrupted and rushed. I have a full list of safe factory codes in the cheat sheet. We are living through a great correction in the used car market. The high prices of the last few years are meeting the reality of poor build quality. In 2026, a 2023 car with 50,000 miles is a liability, not an asset. Don't be the person who pays $40,000 for a car that was built with second-rate parts during a global crisis. Be the smart money buyer. Buy the pre-crisis iron. Buy the cars that don't have a 5G modem. Get the data, download the cheat sheet, and survive the 2023 lemon wave.